you've had one bad question in the exam and you're like, oh, I'm going to fail. Write things down. It makes it easier to rationalize. Do not be embarrassed. Plan out your time properly. You feel defeated before you even attempt anything. If you don't hear anything in this video, hear this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dudu, back at it again with another banging video. In today's video, as you already see by the title, actually before we get into today's video, I don't know if you guys would have noticed, but drum roll please, we hit 10K. We hit 10,000 subscribers yesterday, you guys, and I'm like, I'm so excited, beyond grateful, beyond humbled, and I want to say thank you guys so much. So welcome if you are new to the fam. I'm so happy that we keep growing and we keep glowing. I will be doing a proper separate video, you know, like we've hit 10K video and I'm super excited, but I did want to say thank you so much because this happened yesterday and I didn't want to just like continue with Vlogmas without saying it. So yeah, anywho, in today's video, as you already see by the title, it is Vlogmas day 6, and on the 6th day of Christmas I will be giving you guys 5 tips on how to stay motivated and come out on top in those challenging seasons, in those seasons of failure, in those seasons that want to test us from actually achieving our dreams. For example, exam season, we have applying for university, we have applying for industrial placement, applying for jobs, which is like, you know, similar as applying for industrial placement. So yeah, you know, those situations that require a lot out of you consistently. I just want to give you guys a few tips to help you stay motivated and stay resilient in those situations, because I feel like as someone who has applied for uni, has had like A-level exams, has had a few uni exams, applied for industrial placement, I feel as though I've been through a lot of situations where it's like a tense time. And so yeah, these are just a few tips to help you get through those like prolonged, intense, like confused time where you're kind of not even as much in control. This video is actually inspired by someone who commented on a video yesterday saying that they were finding the exams challenging and they felt like they might not be able to hit their goal and, like, you know, go to university and all of that. And I just thought, let me give you guys a few tips, because, you know, if one person is affected, there's probably a couple more. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to join this amazing family. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. And without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Tip number 1, journal. Write down exactly how you're feeling in that exact moment. If you have had a bad exam, if you have had a bad test in your job application, if you're confused, you've had a bad day, make sure you write down your feelings. I cannot emphasize this enough, but it really relieves you of all that pressure. It helps you see the bigger picture, and most of the time we build these things up in our heads. Like, you've had one bad question in the exam and you're like, oh, I'm going to fail. So writing things down really helps you also like kind of step away from yourself and see yourself in like a third person-ish and be like, oh, okay, you know, maybe we can like do this and do that. Maybe it's not as bad as it seems. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you write your feelings down. To give an example, beginning of this year, I had my second year exams. I submitted one of my exams late and I was freaking out. Okay, I was proper freaking out. But I went down, I wrote down, I journaled, and I just like relieved so much pressure, because in writing down I realized, okay, I can like submit this mitigating circumstances form thing. If I do have to end up writing the exam, like, okay, whatever, you know, it brings me back to earth, and it will bring you back to earth and help you realize that there is a way forward. So yeah. Tip number 2, talk to people in similar situations as you, or people who have been through the same situation as you. So this is really helpful, because it helps you realize that it's not just you. It takes you out of your head, helps you find people to relate to, people you can converse with, people who can like give you tips on how to get through certain things. Because most of the time, say you're job hunting, you're applying for placement, you think that you're the only one who's struggling in this specific point of the application, applying for university university, say personal statement. But if you go out, talk to people who are like in university, if you talk to people who, you know, are in a year above you or whatever, it really helps you kind of rationalize. So yeah, make sure you talk to people. It's really helpful. Tip number 3, plan out your time going into that challenging season. So that can look like, if you're going into exam season, you know when your exams are going to be, so make sure you plan around your exam days, plan your study days around there, because that can keep you motivated in a sense that you know when you're gonna study, you know that you're gonna prepare yourself, so you become less stressed. And when it comes to like job application, for example, you're planning around when you have your different tests, and like you're also able to schedule rest time, and I feel like that can always help motivate you, because most of the time I've noticed personally for me, when I just go into an exam season knowing I have exams and I should study, I will get so overwhelmed, because I'll feel like every single day I should be studying, every single minute I should say rather, I should be studying. But creating a plan and creating like a proper schedule to say, okay, I have this amount of time, I can actually afford to rest for 2 hours on this day, I can afford to take time, and you don't even feel guilty at the time that you're not doing work. So I definitely recommend that during whatever challenging season you're going through, you plan out your time properly. Even if you're not a planner usually, I can assure you, when I was applying for my placement, I used a diary, something that I've never ever used ever. I used a proper diary, wrote down in the calendar, this is when I have this like test, I'm gonna prepare it for on this day, so it means that on this day I can actually chill, and you know, maybe I can start here, like, you know, just like having somewhat of a concrete plan of how you're gonna get through that situation is really helpful, and I definitely recommend. Tip number 4, prepare as much as you can. Guys, listen, this is the one I have been waiting for. This is, I feel like, a life hack that I've managed to tap into. When you are going through exam season, you are applying for jobs, you're applying for university, you need to prepare. There is no shortcuts to getting these things or to doing well in life in general, or like, you know, specifically exams, getting a job and all of that. So make sure you prepare as much as you can. Go online, research, how do you apply for this, how do I prepare myself for an online test, how do I write a personal statement. There's no point in not preparing yourself, because that only puts more pressure and you just feel like you can't do it. You feel defeated before you even attempt anything, and that brings on, like, you know, anxiety, feelings of failure and all of that. So I highly recommend, if you don't hear anything in this video, hear this: prepare yourself to the fullest, so that when you do, you know, for example, I'm going to use placement as an example because that's my most recent thing. And when I was applying for placement, I would go through for each different test, I would spend so many hours just preparing, saying, okay, this is how I'm gonna do this, these are the questions that could come up, these are my possible answers, and I would like so over prepare to the point that when it actually comes to the assessment, I'm so relaxed. Even if something comes at you and you're not able to answer it, it's not like a, oh, I should have, it's like, oh, I really did so much, so maybe, you know, it is what it is. It wasn't supposed to be for me. And so being prepared really helps you through those seasons, and just like not letting you have any bondage and attachment to the previous thing. So if you found it challenging but you prepared like crazy, then how can you actually come at yourself and say, oh, I really wish I had, do you get what I mean? So make sure you're like proper prepared for anything that comes at you. Like, I can't emphasize this one enough, you guys. I actually can't. Tip number 5, don't be so hard at yourself. It's always important to remember that every opportunity is a learning opportunity. If you have failed, which I hate using the word failed because I feel like you learn in every situation. If you have failed, don't take that as failure. Don't take that personally. Take it as a, oh, so I've gotten the opportunity to go through this thing once. Now I know where I can improve and I can do better. So whenever you're like in this like, you know, placement search and you have a test that you don't do well in, don't take that personally. Don't feel like you've been defeated. Don't feel like, oh, I'm done. Or if you have one bad exam, do not let that affect your next one. If anything, take that and evaluate and say, okay, why did I have a bad exam? I got overwhelmed. I felt like I didn't study enough. Okay, so in the next one, I now know this information. So in the next one, I'm gonna study more and I'm going to stay calm and I'll do better. And you know, it's just a cycle where you keep improving and keep improving. And so that's also like another hack that I've recently managed to kind of tap into as well. If you don't do well in something, don't take it personally. Just take it as a learning opportunity. And you know, as they say, failure is redirection. I know it's such a cliche, but it's a mindset at this point. If you feel like failure is redirection, you will never feel defeated. You will feel like, okay, I've attempted this, it's not for me, next. You know, and you know, it goes back to the previous point as well. If you've prepared as much as you can, you have failed, then you know it's just not for you. But if you didn't prepare as much, and then you can go back and try it again and again. So it's just like a cycle of really giving yourself the best chance. And I feel like that's how you stay motivated and on top of everything through those challenging seasons. So yeah, you guys, those are all the tips I have for you today. I really hope you found them useful. And just to conclude, I do want to emphasize the point on really preparing as much as you can, showing up as your best self for every opportunity that's in front of you, whether it's an exam, it's an assessment, or, you know, even if it's just like, you know, an opportunity to talk, maybe you're like debating or whatever it is. Make sure you always give yourself the best chance to show up as your best self. Bonus tip I want to add is don't be embarrassed to do too much. I feel like in our generation, you know, people always feel embarrassed when like maybe they're going to the library too much, it's not as cool to their friends. Do not be embarrassed, okay? It is really important to invest in your future. People don't know your vision. They don't know you want to go to that university. They don't know that you want that job at like the top company in the world. Make sure you just focus on your vision, focus on your plan, prepare yourself. Even if you're like doing so much more than other people, do it, because it's your life, it's your path, it's your opportunity. So yeah, and also make sure you don't compare yourself to other people. I feel like that is, oh my gosh, how did I even not add this as a tip? Make sure you don't compare yourself to other people. Oh, comparison is a thief of joy, as they say, and they don't lie. They really don't lie. If someone, somehow, you guys are applying for the same placement opportunity, someone applies for one, they get it, you're applying for like 10 and you're still going, don't compare yourself to them. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's path is different. You don't know why you are going through those 10. Maybe they're gonna prepare you for the biggest job ever. You don't know why that person got one. Maybe they've been working tirelessly all their life and they deserve to get it their first time. So, you know, don't like compare yourself to anyone. We don't know anyone's life. You don't know what anyone's been through. You don't know the amount of work other people have put, and you don't know what's waiting for you. You don't know what you're being prepared for by, say, going through those challenging times. Most of the time, we don't in the moment realize that we're being refined and like being prepared for even like more intense situations. You might go through 10 applications and not get them, and then there's this one big one that you all do. You having done 10 are like ready, and someone who has done like one and got it like the first time is not ready. So yeah, you know, I feel like I'm going crazy with like the explanations, but I really just hope you guys found this useful. This does bring us to the end of today's video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up, and if the video didn't help you but you know someone else who can help, don't forget to share this video around. And if you have come all the way to the end of the video and you're not already subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to join this amazing family. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you are notified every single time that I post a new video. And with that being said, thank you guys so much again for 10k subscribers. I'm so excited to celebrate. I'm actually like, I had work today, so I couldn't like celebrate proper. I have work tomorrow, so this weekend we're going all out. But yeah, thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.